So dear learners, in this particular video we will be discussing with our second stage of object oriented design, that is architectural design. Okay. So in the previous video we discussed about the first stage, that is defining the context and also the interactions or the environment in which our system is supposed to work. So that we completed in the previous video. So now let's move to the second stage, that is architectural design as a part of object oriented design is concerned. Okay. So in this particular second stage, normally, so once the interaction between the system and its environment have been understood, okay, in the stage 1, so here we are going to use that information for designing the system architecture. So here designing the system architecture is nothing but what, identifying the major components that will make up the system and their interactions. Okay. And also they may organize the components using an architecture pattern such as layered architecture or a client server model, so like that. Okay. So basically, while designing this architecture for any software system is concerned, okay, in our software engineering, just try to remember there are three generic types of architectural patterns are exist. So one is the repository model, okay, and another one is the client server architecture, and also the third one is layered architecture. So any of these three very popularly known generic architecture patterns are available. Okay. So based on the type of the software system that we are going to develop, okay, we will be selecting either the layered architecture or client server architecture or repository model. Okay. And with respect to our example that we have considered here for our object oriented design is concerned, that is the weather station here. Okay. That is wilderness weather station, and it is composed of an independent subsystem that communicate by broadcasting the messages on a common infrastructure here. Okay. So here we are going to define the architecture for our weather station is concerned. Just have a look at there. So this is an example of the high level architecture for the wilderness weather station that we have represented here. Okay. So in this particular diagram, if you observe, so weather station is not a single system or single entity. So it is made up of different subsystems like fault manager, configuration manager, power manager, communications, then data collection and instruments. So combined together all these subsystems which will make what, a weather station here. Okay. So this is how always whenever we represent any system in terms of its architecture is concerned, so we will come to know that how that particular system is made up of different subsystems and components and their relationships. Is it clear? Okay. So in this particular weather station is concerned, here if you look at there, so weather station is not simply a single system as just now we told. So it consists of a subsystem called instruments. Okay. Because a weather station is going to have a set of variety of different instruments to measure the different types of the weather data like pressure, temperature, rainfall, wind speed, wind direction, so many variety of data. Okay. And then the weather station is also responsible for collecting what, the data collection from these instruments. Then once the collected data, that may be sent to some other surrounding subsystems like weather information system by establishing a communication. So communication itself is another subsystem, and where to operate that particular weather station we need power supply. So that power manager is another subsystem. Then as these weather stations are remotely controlled with software, sometimes we may need to reconfigure that particular software. For that we need the configuration manager, and also sometimes my weather station may come up with some faults or some service is to be done for some of the instruments or something else. At that time we may make use of this fault manager. So like that there are different types of subsystems that we have identified in the architecture of this weather station. All together will make what, a weather station as a one software system here. Okay. And in turn, once again, a subsystem may consist of within subsystem, it may also be possible here, or a subsystem may made up of different components. For example, if you take the data collection here, so the data collection subsystem consists of one thing in three different parts: a transmitter, separate receiver, and also what, the weather data. So all together we can call it as what, the data collection. So like this, while defining this architecture, we always go on thinking of the system within subsystem, subsystems within that another subsystems, or what, a component. So like that we will come across the different parts of that particular system and their interfaces. Is it clear? Okay. So this is all about the architecture here, and very importantly, if you observe here, very important observation that you can make here. So in this particular diagram, if you observe, just have a look at the notation here. So this is a type of package diagram or subsystem model that you can call it as in unified modeling language, and look at the representation of a subsystem. It is a rectangular box, then above that some small box. Okay. So with a notation with subsystem indication, then name of the subsystem which has been written over here. So this is how a subsystem model as a part of an architecture of any system can be represented. And another important thing is these kind of structural models are going to exhibit the static nature of the system here. Okay. So here we can identify only the subsystems and components, okay, but not what is happening between one subsystem to the another subsystem. So that we cannot represent here. Okay. So during the architectural design, which will represent the overall system architecture in terms of static level. Just do remember this particular point is concerned. Okay. Thank you.